Welcome back. Hope you guys got some immense value from day one, and I hope you guys did fill out your kind of task that I gave you guys to do in day one. But let's get into day two, right? So today's objective is picking the right agents to build based on market pain, not your personal preference, right? We did speak about earlier about actually identifying a proper pain point when it comes to creating an AI agent. It has to solve a specific problem, otherwise it isn't going to sell, right? And obviously not your personal preference. This is where too many people get stuck, but not you. I did as well, right? I had this beautiful offer for restaurants, essentially creating a reservation system, right? So not that it doesn't solve a problem, but it's not a problem that's necessarily recognized by the hospitality industry. So that I am still offering, but I have now switched my focus to more booking agents and lead qualification agents for agencies and coaches. So just get the gist of it, right? Because I've made these mistakes. This is why I'm doing this bootcamp, to share what I've learned. Um, so let's get a little reality check in, all right? Not every AI agent is worth building, right? Not every offer will sell, right? So like I just said with the reservations agent, let me just make sure this is still going. But yeah, like I said with the reservations agent for hospitality groups, this is not going to sell right now. This needs to be recognized in the market for hospitality, right? To automate the reservation systems. Same concept here, right? Definitely need to be focusing on what are the problems that are, currently, what's the word I'm looking for? That currently are a problem, right? Currently are a pain point. Otherwise, it won't sell, right? I just remembered I did not post this on my Instagram story. Shit. Okay, whatever. Moving on. Hopefully my boy has got me. Let's see. So what is the truth, right? The market does not care what you want to build, right? This is not a personal matter. It only responds to what solves a problem it's already feeling, right? We covered, I don't know if it was my 10K offer workshop or it was the last video I mentioned. Um, you know, Companies will rather pay for something that stops the bleeding, right, rather than just covering the wound, right? They want to fix and they want to make sure that it's fixed for a lifetime or as long as possible, right? And your job is to pick an AI agent that targets a problem that people are already losing sleep over, right? So now for most agencies and coaches, right, even for myself, is lead gen, right? Is bringing people in, right? That is something I lose sleep over. Yeah. So yeah. So the only way to know what to sell, right, is to dig into the pain, right? A product sells when your customer is aware of the problem, knows solutions exist, understanding your product, what your product does, and trusts you can deliver, right? We're going to go through this now. You have to create awareness of a problem, right? And it's like, for example, the hospitality offer that I have, people are not aware of that problem, right? They don't know that that solution exists and they don't exactly know what my product does. They also don't know who I am, right? So you also have to build that conviction of they will trust you to fix that problem that they are going through. So here's a little, I don't know what to call this, but pain equals sales, right? You're not going to sell a flashy toy, unfortunately, unless you are involved in selling a certain software product or digital product right to another software company or a tech company. And then just to level up, big pain equals big sales. So the bigger the problem, the bigger the pain point, the more money you're going to get paid for solving that pain point or problem. So I hope we're understanding so far on what an AI agent should do, and how we would sell it based on that, which would be the pain points. And I'm iterating this a lot because this is actually what's going to make you sell incredibly easy and create that conviction um, to your potential prospects. So, what is the prompt that does? Oh, sorry, um, the prompt that does the heavy lifting for you. So we want to obviously reduce the amount of work we need to do to create these AI agents, especially when we're creating many of them. We don't want to be building an AI agent from scratch every single time. So we will use this to find out exactly the pain points of your niche, and what pain points they're actually facing, and quickly, right? So if you look down below on the bottom right, there is a PDF available, that I will put in the YouTube link and also in the WAP community, um, that you'll be able to download, which will be essentially stating all the different things of a certain niche. It's a breakdown, very detailed breakdown of a specific niche. I have given an example in that PDF that you just have to pretty much think of a niche that you're really wanting to target, and swap out different keywords and situation, and that's kind of like the work you will need to do. So the instructions, right? Open Chat GPT or Claude Perplexity or DeepSeek, whatever you use. I use Chat GPT, and copy and paste this prompt, right? You will have this prompt as well. So what is this prompt? Your job is to research the deepest, most urgent pain points for your niche. Use sources like Reddit, Answer the Public, forums, Facebook groups, etc. Right? We are getting information from the public because that's the only way we are going to know. You could also host um, a poll on LinkedIn if you have a good following. That could also work. So structure your findings using the PDF template I've attached down below. Be clear, be specific, and comprehensive. The more information you give, the better your prompt is going to be, right? So if you are going to be vague in some certain areas, it's not necessarily going to be able to translate what you are trying to achieve. So next is your mission today, right? This is your next task, pretty much, is to walk away with 3 strong AI agents, ideas, that directly solve real painful problems in your niche. Think of these tools. Jeez, I'm stumbling on my words here. Think of these tools like they are in your armory, right? These are tools that you can pull out of nowhere and ready to offer depending on who you are talking to. So this is nice because if you've already got experience building AI agents for yourself, you can actually have a qualifying AI agent. But I am getting ahead of ourselves here. But this is a nice to have because then you are kind of uh, niching down on exactly who you're talking to and filtering out tire kickers or people that are not fit for your agency, right? So here are a few winning examples, right? Is our lead nurturing bot, right? It replaces sales staff and follows up 24/7. So you don't have to do the heavy lifting when it comes to following up with leads that have entered your pipeline, messaging, so they are essentially also qualifying those leads as well as nurturing them into a sales call. But that's just one part of the equation, right? So then you've got your booking appointment agent, which keeps people's calendars full. So your ideal target, this is exactly what I do. Your ideal target are people that have an overflow of warm leads, of inbound leads, and they can't handle the amount of leads as well. And some of those leads will also not be qualified to work with that company. So now they might be wasting time on getting on those hours calls of trying to determine whether this person is a good fit, right? That's where you can now tie the bridge between the lead nurturing bot and booking appointment agent. I am getting ahead of ourselves again, but you get the gist of it, right? Then you got your voice AI receptionist, right? So this will answer the phone, logs inquiries, and never sleeps. This can also be some sort of information bot for, say, for example, dental practices, or like I said, hospitality groups, or even agencies, right? You can have these on websites where you can embed them on websites where they can talk directly to an agent to get as many offers as you can. And that agent will then be able to use the details of that said person calling in about information and then can reach out to that person. And then it kicks in with the lead nurturing bot and then booking appointment agent. And so I hope we're still following along. I am obviously getting ahead of ourselves, but I am trying to paint a picture of what this whole system could look like, especially if you have all in one. But stick to one for now, all right? And master each one by itself before you are trying to integrate all of them together. So, a little tip, you want to make offers so relevant they feel custom built for the prospect, right? So now you've got the pain, and now when they are fully onboarded, now you are actually um, customizing that um, specific uh, prospect within your build, right? I hope that makes sense. So, pro tip, split test early. You don't need to pick the perfect agent on day two. It really is what resonates with you. Obviously, bearing in mind that you do need a pain point, you do need a pain derivative for that actual agent to work. So start testing what resonates with you. Try different pitches, get real feedback from real people, and start building traction. Under promise, over deliver by offering a second agent free to boost your results. Earn referrals and gather case studies. This is how you are really going to be able to um, get paid for building agents for companies, right? And obviously, being referrals being the strongest method of inbound and conviction about your business or your product or your digital products or your AI agent, whatever you want to call it. So, why do most people fail? And I don't want you guys to be most people. Don't be most people. Number one is the offer. Now, if you go back if in my community, you will see there is a 10K offer breakdown where we go through what makes a 10K offer. Not that you will charge a 10K offer, but it will be worth that amount of money where it's going to be so difficult for a prospect to say no. So their offer doesn't actually solve a real pain. So again, if we're going, I know we're reiterating here, but if we're not solving a real pain point, you're not going to sell, right? Number two is the final call. These are people that are the decision makers, right? They don't show, they don't do, excuse me, they don't show it to enough decision makers. So this can be quite challenging, but you do have to pinpoint the decision makers, whether it be the owner, whether it be operations manager, whether it be a CFO, whatever it may be. It really has to get to the people that are going to make that final call. That's probably why you wouldn't be able to sell your agent. And so this you can keep in mind when you are targeting a certain prospect or a certain niche, right? So for me, I'm doing agencies and coaches. Most likely, the owner, just like myself, runs most of the company. So they are head of operations, which means you'll be able to get in contact with them. But say, for example, you are targeting a dental practice chain, it's going to be quite difficult to target the specific owner and then implement that system across different chains, right? So just bear that in mind. Number three, the wrong people. You might be pitching the right offer, but to the wrong people. So again, really think about that niche and who you're targeting, and does that pain point really keep those people up at night, right? Back to that PDF that I have left in the description, go through that and making sure that the offer that you're pitching matches the problems that certain niche is experiencing, and if you can actually solve it. So take those three kind of reasons why people do fail and flip them around, and obviously combine it and making sure that you're creating a good offer, reaching the right people and the decision makers so that you can get that sale. So what are we doing now? This is the next task. Okay, you're going to choose your niche. Listen, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You also don't have to go for a niche that is, completely different. I think there's a concept that you need to have in your mind, is that, like, a lot of people say, oh, it's a red ocean, it's saturated. Like, no, it's not. If you went for agencies and coaches like I did, there's probably 100,000 plus agencies and coaches around the world. For me, I can probably only handle 10 to 20 of those agency and coaches. So don't worry about that. Okay, so choose a niche, then run the prompt that you have designed from the previous slide. Okay, then you need to write down your top three AI agent ideas, right? That correlate with your niche. And then number four, share your ideas in the community, the WAP community. I will personally give you feedback. So will other community members, right? Really learn, and because through feedback you are able to obviously refine and get better and better at what you do. And number five, pick one and we will build it tomorrow. So in tomorrow's um, in tomorrow's AI agent, what's the word I'm looking for? Bootcamp, day 3, we're going to build the first prototype. This is where we go from the idea to an actual working system that you can test, also show off and sell. So it's time to turn that vision into reality. Okay, so let's go, right? Action today, not tomorrow. Just get on it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get a baseline so that you can refine, you can get feedback and improve. All right. So that is up for day 2. I do hope that you did enjoy. Yeah, I will catch you in day 3. Alrighty, guys. Take care.